I do want to warn you of two things when it comes to dua. A person might ask and say, when should I stop making dua? When should I stop making dua? And that answer is you should stop making dua only when you don't want it anymore. That's it. Many times the question that people come to ask me particularly about this is about two things: getting married and having children. When should I stop making dua? I've been asking Allah to get married for 10 years and it still hasn't happened. I've been asking Allah to get married for 20 years and it still hasn't. I've been asking Allah for children for 10 years, for 20 years. It still hasn't happened. It's been a very long time. And every time it still hurts me so much that maybe I should just stop asking for it. And the answer to that is, as long as your heart still wants it, then you should still make dua for it, for two reasons. Number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala works on His timeline, not yours. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who decrees when. I have a friend of mine, very recently, less than a month ago. He was sitting with me and he was telling me about a brother who had his first child at 49 years old. I said, Allahu Akbar. How old is his wife? He said, also 49 years old. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. These things happen, and more than that, and more amazing than that. And so why would a person close a door that they want, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not closed? You see Zakaria alayhi salam in Surah Maryam. He's whispering, Rabbi inni wahana al-'azmu minni washta'ala al-ra'su shayba wa lam akun bidu'a'ika Rabbi shaqiyya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Zakaria made du'a'an khafiyya, that he made a quiet dua. The Mufassirin mentioned that of the reasons why Zakaria's dua was quiet is because he didn't want Bani Israel to hear his dua and mock him for being an old man still asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a child. Let my dua be private between me and Allah. Yes, someone might make fun of me for still wanting to get married, but let it be between me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and let me continue. But then number two is, if in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's wisdom that it is truly written that you don't receive that, which dua do you think is better? Which dua do you think is going to be more rewarding on the Day of Judgment? The dua that you're making for something that you painfully want, that causes your tears to fall and your heart to break and your tongue to stammer for year after year after year, or for you to alter to something that you kind of want just because you don't want to really ask Allah for the thing that you're really passionate about? Of course, the dua that you make with your tongue stuttering and your heart breaking is more valuable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in fact, it might be the greatest act of worship that you offer in your life. So why would you close that door of ibadah and passion and reliance and hope and imploration and begging in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Zakaria alayhi salam says, وَلَمْ أَكُمْ بِدُعَائِكَ رَبِّ شَقِيًّا. My Lord, I never lose when I make dua to you.